exciting edition of the KnowZone. This is a place where we have lots of fun while we learn. I'm Janet.
I'm Charlie.
And I am Marara. Ah!
Marara, why do you have an umbrella indoors?
Well, Charlie, it's because I'm worried about climate change.
Mara, it's good that you're concerned, but how does having an umbrella help?
Well, you see, climate change can cause really unpredictable weather.
Okay, yeah, of course, yes, it can actually.
So, if it suddenly rains, then I will not get wet. And if it suddenly gets really hot, then I'll have a shade. Wow, I'm a genius.
Okay, Marara, but I'm glad that you mentioned studio lights because we have an excellent show lined up for you today.
Yes, we do. We have Junction teens out there, hot numbers.
We have cool words, career zone, spell it, and not forgetting the big three.
That is a wonderful show, and I cannot wait for us to get started.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go to the chill out zone and meet our studio guests for today. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Now, before we get too far into the show, why don't we say a big hello to everyone who's watching us at home?
Hello.
Well, hello everyone, and it's great to have all of you here today.
Yes, it is. Now, today's episode is all about environment.
Oh, yes it is, and I am a green lion.
Well, not really green, more dull, yellowy, browny
No, Charlie. I am an environmentally friendly lion, and I do everything I can to protect the environment.
Good for you, Mara. Now, who can tell us what the buzzwords are?
Conservation. Hardwood.
Softwood.
Acacia.
Well done, everyone.
Now, make a note of these buzzwords and look out for them in today's episode.
Speaking of today's episode, why don't we go and meet up with a few of our friends who are just as concerned about the environment as Marara is.
Oh, Charlie, nobody, and I mean nobody cares about the environment as much as I do.
Come on, Mara, not even the Junction teens.
Oh, well, maybe they do.
Right. There's only one way for us to find out. It's time for Junction Teens. Thank you.
You guys, me wouldn't have joined this wildlife club. Now look, we are out here on a Saturday morning looking for trees.
Kwani, what did you think the club was about?
Going to national parks and looking at big animals, not cypress and acacia. It's plain boring. What's that?
No, rather I'll be home watching cartoons.
You're lucky you'd be watching cartoons. Me, I'd be home fetching water and...
You two speak for yourselves. I don't believe you're not enjoying yourself. Just because there are no lions in this place, you think there's no wildlife. Now look, did you just see a squirrel that passed?
Where?
Psst. Hey guys, the girls are waiting for us over there. So we pretend we don't know, so. Yeah, so we go. James, tell us the truth. And was there a squirrel or you're just like, I'm telling you. Boo!
How did you guys know we were in here?
You think you can scare us? Thing. Leleti, Dana, come out.
Yeah, we can see you behind those cypress trees.
You girls seem to forget. We're the kings of ambushing. We know every trick in the book, and not to mention every tree in the forest. Then how come Babu didn't know the name of that tree?
Exactly. I was not hiding behind a cypress tree. It's a blue gum tree.
Blue
Whatever,
gum.
it's still a boring tree.
What? Hey guys, what's Snake doing over there?
Well, I don't know, but let's go find out.
Is this all it takes to make charcoal?
Snake, what are you doing in the forest with those pangas?
That's none of your business. And if I were you, I'll stop asking those silly questions. Muridi,
Yes.
now that you have marked each and every tree you want to bring down, tomorrow we meet early in the morning.
Bright and early.
See you tomorrow.
Good.
Gosh, hope they're not planning on chopping down trees.
Yeah, they should know we depend on them.
You guys, let's go to the hideout now.
Can someone please tell me why we are running? So like Snake is chasing us. We have to stop those two from cutting those trees tomorrow.
What? Is that the reason why we've been running?
What do you mean?
Come on, cut those guys some slack. They're probably cutting down trees so that they can provide for their families. Have you thought about that?
Babu, that doesn't justify anything. It's still illegal to cut trees.
Yeah.
Weren't you listening to Maspidi when he told us about the environmental damages it can cause?
So in the meantime, how are they meant to feed their families? Just because you're fortunate enough to have gas and electric cookers doesn't mean everyone can afford that. How do you think I provide for my siblings?
Babu, you don't buy charcoal or firewood, do you?
It's the cheapest mean.
But I'm sure there are other ways you can get energy.
Such as?
Babu, remember what you learned in class about biogas?
I do, but how am I meant to get biogas? It's not like I own cows.
Look, my grandparents have cows. Maybe I can teach you how to use it one of these days.
Yeah, it's really simple. It's just charcoal but made of dung.
Okay, I'm just joking, guys. I agree with you. It's a much cheaper option than buying charcoal and paraffin.
And you conserve trees, which we all need. I mean, if we keep chopping down trees, what will our children have in the future?
I agree with you, Nita. Thanks. And I really appreciate your offer, Diana.
Great, eh? Now does anyone have an idea what to do about Snake and Raven?
I have a plan. We'll pair into groups where Lileti and I will research on alternative energy providing methods that are easy and cheap. And you two go talk to Mr. Baraka about Snake's and Muridhi's plans to chop down a tree tomorrow morning.
And what do we do? You counted everyone else except Babu and me.
You could help him make some biogas.
What? Now?
Yeah, there's no time like the present.
But I just had my nails polished. Okay, fine.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I'm for the safety of the environment. But you can't always be the one doing all the work.
I agree with Brian. Other people...
You mean the older generation?
Yeah, the older generation need to realize that environmental conservation is important too.
But you still have to do our part even if they don't do their part. So is everyone ready to do their various assignments?
Definitely, absolutely.
Okay, don't worry. Lilith and I will be back soon with the research on how to help you make some cubes.
Well, if that's all, let's split up and get the forest before those men cut down our trees.
Wow, look, Nita. The acacia tree can be planted to help stop soil erosion, especially after mining or construction damage.
Wow, that means you can get Mr. Baraka to get us seedlings, which you can plant by the abandoned quarry. So what do you think?
Cool.
Now let's see what we can get Babu and Diana on biogas.
Mr. Baraka.
Brian, what is it?
Sorry, but you have a problem.
What have you done now?
Me? Nothing. I can't believe it. Snake and his friend Muridhi want to chop down a tree.
What?
We were in the forest looking for some trees.
Yeah, we had been given an assignment by Teacher Pendo during the wildlife class.
Then that's when it happened. We saw them with pangas.
Oh my God. Those men must be stopped this instant.
Voila. That's how it's done.
Diana, are you really sure we shouldn't have used the real cow dung?
It's called improvising, Babu. The point for this lesson was for you to know about conservation, right?
I guess.
Then play dough works just fine. Anyhow, time for me to clean up my hands.
Diana! Sorry, does it hurt?
Yeah. Whose bright idea was it to have anything made of hardwood?
Actually, that's softwood. I can tell by its density. You know, I must say, I'm a man of many talents.
Well, hard or soft, it hurts.
Sorry, you'll be fine.
Look, Babu, about before when we thought the world was going to end.
Yes?
Eish.
No, she just hit her foot on the log. I promise.
Well, okay. The good news is we have the research on alternative energy sources, right?
Yeah, and we have so much information about climate change and how cutting down trees can affect the climate.
Really? Let's see.
Diana, be careful with that food.
How did you hurt yourself?
I hate myself, but I'll be fine. Now, let's look on your research.
Okay, so look at this graph. It's about how the weather has been changing throughout the 5 to 10 years.
All this because of cutting down trees.
Yes, and it has been estimated that the earth will get hotter and hotter if people keep chopping down trees.
Man, we really need to stop Snake, Muredi, and the other people who want to destroy the forest before it's too late.
Yes, that, and here are some other favorable energy sources that people can use, such as biogas, hydropower, and solar power.
Guys, it's done.
Yeah, I talked to my grandpa and he knows everything. So tomorrow when Snake and his friend Moridi go into the forest, they'll be in for a surprise.
Good job, everyone.
Now which tree did we mark?
Come on, Snake. I'm sure we can't miss it.
Listen, I want each one of you to walk right behind me. Let the Askaris do their job. There might be other men in the forest, and we need to be safe. We need to be quiet. We don't want to let the culprits know.
So, is this your life turning out to be an adventure for you?
You bet. But about your study.
Did you hear that?
Here we are. We are going to make a fortune out of this, Snake.
Baraka. Don't you know that it's illegal to cut down trees?
Whatever, old man. Who's going to stop me? No, we didn't mean it, you know.
You should be ashamed of yourselves for even intending to chop that tree down.
But who said we are going to chop all the trees in this public land?
We saw you yesterday. We heard that you want to cut down this tree.
You cannot trust these children. We are just here praying.
You must really think we are all fools.
No, it's not like that.
Then what is that machete in your hand for?
Every man for himself.
Hey, get him!
Get him.
No, you can't do that. You can't do that. It is his fault. I'm innocent.
I'm sure the courts are going to determine that.
The courts?
All this just because of a tree? Muradi, it's all your fault.
Snake!
It's all your fault.
Snake!
Very good work, everybody.
Thanks, Mr. Baraka. We're just doing what's right.
But don't stop the fight. Today you saved a tree. Tomorrow you would have saved a whole forest.
Brian, you have a cool grandpa.
Hey, Brian. What is that you said about the older generation?
Oh yeah, let's have a party.
Well, why are we having a party, Marara?
You see, there's reason for double celebration.
Double celebration.
Now, listen. Not only was the hideout saved, but the Junction teens also learned the importance of planting trees.
Okay, those are good reasons to be happy.
Those are very good reasons to be happy. Now, who can tell us what buzzwords they heard?
Conservation. Hardwood.
Softwood.
Acacia.
Great. So, can we have a party?
Mara, I don't think we have time for a party.
Oh, come on. Camera 2. You want a party, don't you? Don't you? See? Hey, lights, do you want a party?
No. Don't even respond to that. Marara, we don't have time for a party.
But Charlie, come on. I thought...
Okay, fine.
We
you know what
try.
we do?
Hey, Mara, do you know what the buzzer means?
Well, yes. It's time for Cool Words with Teacher Pendo and yours truly, me.
I guess there's no time for the party anymore.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Teacher Pendo.
Welcome to another edition of Cool Words. Now, last week we looked at compound adjectives. Now, first of all, let's remind ourselves of some examples of compound adjectives and define them. Who would like to go first? Yes, Marara?
Green-fingered. Someone who is good at gardening, like me.
Excellent. Someone else? Yes, Modoni?
Trouble-free when there is no trouble.
Aha, very good. Someone else? Yes, Adiambo?
Labor saving, something which saves extra work.
Great work, everyone. Now, I promised to explain a bit more detail about compound adjectives. Now, we know that a compound adjective is made up of two words, usually connected with a hyphen.
Oh, Teacher Pendo?
Yes, Marara?
You say usually. Is there always a hyphen?
Well, that's a very good question, Marara. Now, most of the time, we do use a hyphen. The only real exceptions are when compound adjectives have been used for so long, we know what they mean without a hyphen. For example, downtown. Or where the meaning of the phrase is clear without a hyphen. For example, Sunday morning walk. But most of the time, it will help the reader to use a hyphen.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much, Teacher Pendo.
My pleasure, Marara. Now, the interesting thing about compound adjectives is the type of words that can be used. There are different combinations that you can use, and more importantly, you can create your own compound adjectives.
Oh, what do you mean, Teacher Pendo?
Well, let me explain. On the board, I have some words here. Adjective, adverb, present participle, past participle, noun, number. Now, are we all happy to know what these words mean?
Yes. Oh, yes, Teacher Pendo. You see, now I know my numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Okay,
6,
Marara,
7.
enough. Now let's check the others. What is a present participle?
Teacher Pendo?
Yes, Marara.
It tells us about an action that is being done. So, right now, I'm answering your question.
Good explanation. Well done. And what is a noun? Yes, Adhiambo?
A noun is a word which is used to name an animal, place, or thing.
Excellent. And what is a past participle? Yes, Modoni?
A past participle is an action that has been completed.
Very good. Now, I'd like us to think of another compound adjective and then describe what type of words we've used. Are we all ready?
Yes.
Okay. Marara, would you like to go first?
Good looking. Adjective and present participle.
Very good. Who's next? Yes, Wanjiko?
Sugar-free, noun and adjective.
Well done. Someone else? Yes, Modoni?
Deep sea, adjective and noun.
Excellent. Someone else? Yes, Adhiambo?
20-page, number and noun.
Excellent. Well done, all of you. Now, I'm confident that you've all mastered compound adjectives. Be sure to try making your own at home. Now, I'd like us to move on to looking at the following verbs. To smile, to bake, to hope, to cope. Now, who can tell me what these words have in common?
Teacher Pendo?
Yes, Marara.
They're all things that I can do. I can smile, I can bake, I can hope, I can cope.
Okay, Marara, it's good to know that, but it's not quite what I'm looking for. Anyone else with another suggestion? Yes, Wanjiko?
They all end in E.
Very good. Now let's work out the present participle of each of these. Now remember what Marara told us about present participles earlier. It is an action that is taking place. So to smile becomes smiling. To bake becomes baking. To hope becomes hoping. And to cope becomes coping. Okay. Now, who can tell me what you notice about these words in relation to present participle? Yes, Modoni?
We've removed the E.
That's exactly right. Now, if a verb ends in E and the E is silent, we have to drop the E in the present participle.
Oh, Teacher Pendo.
Yes, Marara.
That's an easy rule. I'm going to write down a list of verbs that all end in E. Oh, Teacher Pendo.
Yes?
Write is another example of a verb that ends in E.
Yes, it is. Now, why don't you at home try and think of some verbs ending in E? For today, we are out of time, but make sure you join us next time for more cool words.
Right. Oh, Teacher Pendo.
Yes, Marara.
Drive is another example.
It is. Now, we know somebody who does a lot of driving on his travels. It's time to see where Miss Speedy is visiting this week on Out There.
Hey! Everybody loves the sense of warmth and homeliness that a real fire produces, especially when you're preparing a nice favorite home-cooked meal. Whether your sweet cup of tea or a dinner for the whole family. In this part of the world, like in most of the countries of the developing world, people use charcoal, kerosene or firewood from both softwood and hardwood as a means to provide fuel for cooking. However, these sources of fuel are turning out to be locally unavailable or expensive, especially because of the transportation cost involved, and also the current use of charcoal and firewood is contributing to wide-scale deforestation. With creativity and innovation in a bid to conserve the environment as we clear and recycle waste, a technology called fuel briquette technology is proving to be a potential alternative. Fuel briquette technology is a unique yet well-proven technology to provide fuel wood through briquettes. A briquette is a block of flammable matter used as fuel to start and maintain fire. Fuel briquettes are made from agricultural and commercial residues such as weeds, leaves, sawdust, rice husks, and scrap paper. Majority of Kenyans in the low-cost urban living areas like the Kibera slums, Nairobi, prefer fuel briquettes over wood and charcoal because they not only burn longer but are also cheaper. But this new technology of using the fuel briquette is becoming a common source of energy in Kenya, and people are curious to know how this is done. Well, me and my friends from Garissa Road Primary School in Thika are going to learn more about the briquettes technology. Come on, let's go and find out more. CAPSE, the Climate Action Program for Schools and Youth. The project has been teaching the students here at Broadway High School on how to make briquettes from various recycled materials, and so today they are eager to pass on the knowledge to us and to the young ones. Although the making of most briquette relies on the production of charcoal, it is still a cheap fuel option that would otherwise go to waste. A charcoal briquette is made from a combination of charcoal dust and waste paper. Sawdust briquettes. Sawdust briquettes are made from sawdust, wood waste, and waste paper. While biomass briquettes, which are mostly used for industrial use, are made from agricultural waste. But how do you make sure you make good briquettes? By using what we call a briquette machine. Step 1. Sort out the materials you wish to put in your briquette. Step 2. Chop the material up. Step 3. Mix them thoroughly to make a consistent mixture. Step 4. Place a handful of mixture inside the cylinder of the briquette machine. Step 5. Place plates after every mixture to separate the different pieces. Step 6. Press the mixture to remove water. Step 7. Carefully remove the round compressed donut-like shapes from the machine and voila! There you have your briquette.
This is it, good people.
This is it.
Finally, place the briquette under a shade to dry for 2 to 3 days. So if we make more briquettes, we will then have a cleaner environment through conserving our natural resources and recycling. Well, it has been a great outing for me, and I hope you've enjoyed it too. So, bye for now. See you soon. Goodbye.
Thank you so much, Maspidi. I mean, that was another great trip out there.
I know, Maspidi cares about the environment as much as you do, Marara. It's that time of the show where we get to test our math skills with some mental arithmetics. Welcome to the Big Three.
Now, here it's all about your numbers. There are 2 teams. There are 3 sums, and each team has just 5 seconds to solve each sum. The winning team is the team that solves the most sums correctly. They will get to take these wonderful maths books back to their school, courtesy of our friends, the Longhorn Publisher.
Yes, now, if the scores are tied at the end, we will move into a tiebreaker question.
That's right. Now, you must remember that in the Big Three, there are 2 very simple rules. You will only hear the question once and once only, and you'll only see the question written down at the end of the game.
Yes, now you must answer the question and write down your answers on the answering pads that have been provided within 5 seconds, or your answers will not count even if they're correct. Are the rules clear?
Yes.
Now, for you at home, make sure that you play along. See if you can be just as good as our best team, or if you can beat them. Let's go with that first sum. 8 multiplied by 2 plus 8 minus 3 divided by 7 is what?
And starts the clock. And stop.
Okay, team, stop writing. Let's move on to the next sum, please. 5 plus 4 times 2, take away 2, divide by 4 equals?
Starts the clock. And stop.
Ooh, this is actually getting really exciting. There's one sum left. Let's see how they do. 8 plus 3 plus 1 minus 2 divided by 2 is what?
Start the clock. And time's up. Time is up.
All right, that was a great game. Let's find out how everyone did. Team A, please show us your answer for the first sum.
And Team A have 3 for an answer.
Okay, Team B, let's see what you have.
And Team B have, they have a 3 as well.
Well.
Same answer. Let's see if our teams had the same thought process and were correct. 8 multiplied by 2, that's 16. Plus 8 is 24. Minus 3 is 21. Divided by 7, the answer is 3.
Ooh. Wow, looks like both teams got that one correct. So let's move on to the next sum. Team A, please show us your answer for the second sum.
So Team A have, that is a 4.
All right, Team B, let's see what you have.
And Team B, Team B has a 4 as well. What does this mean?
Wow. It means that our teams are solving the sums with the same sort of process, but let's see if our teams are actually correct. Second sum. 5 plus 4, that's 9. Multiplied by 2, that's 18. Minus 2, that's 60. Divided by 4, the answer is 4.
Wow.
Wow! Looks like these teams are quite strong. Now let's move on to the third sum. Please, Team A, show us your answer for the third sum.
Now let's see if Team A, Team A have 5 as an answer.
All right, Team B, show us what you have for that sum.
And Team B, what? Team B have 5 as well. Wow!
It's getting hot.
It's not even hot. This is literally the center of the sun.
Yeah.
Let us solve this sum together and see if our teams who have shared the same answers all the way through are going into a tiebreaker. 8 plus 3, that is 11. Plus 1, that's 12. Minus 2, that's 10. Divided by 2, the answer is 5.
Wow, now clearly we have a tie, so what this means is that we have to move into a tiebreaker question.
Now, Charlie,
Explain.
please give us the rules.
All right. The tiebreaker is a very, very simple section. All our teams will be asked one question and one question only. You will be given 5 seconds to solve that question. The first team to put their hand up with a correct answer within the 5 seconds will get to take these maths books back to their school. If that team does not solve the question correctly, the chance will be given to the next team. If that team does not solve the question, then the maths books sadly will remain in the KnowZone. Are the rules clear?
Yes.
All right, Charlie, take it away.
Actually, Marara, I will reserve that honor for Janet. Janet?
All right, teams, let's do this. 8 take away 4 times 6 take away 10 plus 2 equals...
Start the clock. And stop. Wow.
I believe the first hand to go up within the 5 seconds was Team A.
16.
All right, we have an answer, 16.
Yes, they do.
Just in case, Team B, what's your answer? 16 as well.
Wow.
Shall we solve this one?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Tiebreaker question. 8 minus 4, that is 4. Multiplied by 6, that's 24. Minus 10, that's 14. Plus 2. The answer is 16.
Wow. All right, now good job to the both teams because so far you have all the sums correct. But Team A were the first ones to lift their hand up, so they get to walk away with these fabulous textbooks. But Team B, you are also as strong.
Yeah, well, Team B, don't worry because you have also helped me with my maths.
That's right. Now, for you at home, how many sums did you get correct? I know it was a very tough round in the studio, so I hope you are as happy as both our teams are today.
Yes, if you enjoyed playing the Big Three, be sure to join Teacher Pendo on Hot Numbers.
We will be right back, right here on the KnowZone.
Welcome back, everyone. It's so great to have you here.
Now, today's show is all about the environment.
Yes, now, why don't you remind everyone at home what today's KnowZone buzzwords are?
Conservation. Hardwood. Softwood. Acacia.
Awesome.
It's time for us to go into the wild zone.
Hello and welcome to the Wild Zone. Today we are going to look at the different efforts being made to protect the Florida panthers.
And to the tourists, be they wildlife protectors or wildlife hunters, fighting for their own place in the Everglades, The Florida panther is a flagship species. He represents the wild Florida, the Florida that was. Now huge efforts are being made to save the panthers. Land is being set aside for the panthers, and even roads are being redesigned for them. Though the quarries still provide for more roads, and heavy agriculture with its chemical runoff still continues, there has recently been an effort by the government and industry to repair the damage of the past. And for the panther, a special consideration, costing millions of dollars, 36 wildlife underpasses with guiding fences have been built under Alligator Alley to allow panthers and other animals to cross under the road. It is not known if Big Guy's accident would have been prevented, or if the Florida panther population could have been saved if these underpasses had been built along with the original construction of the alley. If Big Guy hadn't been hit, it is almost sure he would have been subject to a legion of scientists, all grimly determined to be of service to him. Nearly every surviving Florida panther has now been numbered and cataloged. Most have been darted and captured. Their blood and tissues have been sampled, and their DNA minutely studied. In spite of all this attention, the number of panthers continues to fall. It has become increasingly clear that the few survivors have become so inbred that they no longer constitute a viable population. There seems to be no choice now but to bring in Texas panthers to diversify and strengthen the dwindling gene pool. Now those big guys might do the trick. But this in turn raises tricky questions. Will the Florida panther, rare as it is, lose its identity as an endangered subspecies by mixing genes with its populous cousins to the west? For Big Guy, none of this really matters, for he will never return to the wild, to the land he once hunted freely, and his fatal genetic defects will keep him from being a part of the next generation. But let's hope that for others of his kind, the future will improve with better protection, better blood, and better habitat to keep the Florida panthers roaming a wild and healthy Everglades.
That was great, but next week we're going to have a brand new documentary just for you. Don't miss out.
Oh, I love the wild zone. But we have to do more to protect the environment.
That's right. We need to do everything we can to protect our natural resources.
Now, if you would like to know more about Marara's animal friends and the wild areas you have seen here, you should join the KnowZone Club.
Yes, that's right. Just text the word zone plus your name and address to
5606. And you will become a KnowZone Club member. But remember to ask your parents to help you with that text.
Oh, I know what that means. Bella, it's time to join Teacher Pendo on
Hot numbers.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Teacher Pendo.
Welcome to this week's Hot Numbers section. Now, have you all been practicing what we learnt about last week?
Yes.
Ah, Marara, by the energy in your answer, I see you've been practicing. Now, can you please remind us what we learnt about, just in brief?
Well, last week we learned about we learned about lines and compasses.
Marara seems to be having a problem expressing himself. Now, would anyone help him out? Yes, Atyamba?
Last week we learned how to construct lines using a compass, and we also learned how to bisect lines.
Aha, very good. And can anyone remind us what it means to bisect a line? Yes, Kibi, what?
To bisect a line is to divide it into two equal parts by constructing a line through its center.
Exactly. Thank you. Now, Mara, do you now remember what we learnt about?
Oh, yes, Teacher Pendo. But I did mention lines and compasses, so I was close.
Okay, right. Well, now that we have jogged our memories, let us proceed with this week's lesson. Today, we are going to learn how to construct perpendicular and parallel lines.
Wow, using a compass?
Yes, Marara, using a compass. Now, a perpendicular line is one that crosses through another line at a 90-degree angle. Now, there are two ways that we can construct a perpendicular line. Now, the first method entails constructing a perpendicular through a point on the line. Now, I want all of us to draw a line on our paper. Now, it can be a line of any length. Now let's draw a line of any length. You just dropped your compass, okay?
Oh, thank you, Teacher Pendo.
You're welcome. Okay, now I already have an example of a line on the board. Now, next, I want us to mark a point on the line. Now, it can be anywhere along the line. So, mark a point on the line. It can be anywhere, and you can name this point C, okay? Let's name it C. And then, with the pointer of your compass on point C. So, let's put the pointer of our compass on point C, and then draw two arcs on either side of the point. Draw two arcs on either side of the point C. And then we are going to call this point A and point B. Okay? Let's do this. Are we all there? And this is how it should look like. Okay? This is how it should look like. Now, from these 2 points, A and point B, we are going to draw arcs over the line. So we are going to draw arcs over this line. So let's do that. And make sure that the radius is not too small, as we want our arcs to intersect. So from your point A, draw an arc over. Make sure it's not too small. And then from point B, draw another arc. Okay, and then we are going to draw a line from this point of intersection. So this new point that we get, we draw a line all the way to point C. Okay? Draw your line. Very good. Now that is how to drop a perpendicular through a point on a line. Now if you take out your protractors, who can tell me what the angle the perpendicular line makes with line AB at point C is? Use your protractor. Yes, Korea?
90 degrees.
Very good. Now what else can we call a 90 degrees angle? Yes, Wairimo?
A right angle.
That's right.
Wow, Teacher Pendo, that was really easy.
That's good to know, Marara. Now, the second method of dropping a perpendicular is from a point away from the line. Now, draw another line on your pieces of paper. Draw another line. And once you have done this, mark a point over or under the line and ensure that mark is not on the line. Okay? So mark a point over or under the line. Let's do this. So draw your line and then mark a point over or under the line. And this is an example I did earlier. Okay. Now, we'll call that point, point T. Okay, so using your compass and your compass on point T, draw 2 arcs on the line. So from point T, with your sharp point there on point T, draw an arc on both sides. And then label the points of intersection, point A and point B. Okay. Now next, from point A, draw an arc. From point A, draw an arc on the side of the line opposite point T. Okay? From point A, you draw an arc opposite point T. Okay? And then you do the same from point B. Now these arcs will intersect at point S. So we'll call this point S. And we then now draw a line joining point T to point S. And of course the line crosses through line AB at point R. I can see we're all doing so well, and this is how it should look like. Okay, and then you can use your protractors to see that the angles are 90 degrees. Do you want to confirm? Just confirm whether they're 90 degrees, the angle is 90 degrees.
Oh, Teacher Pendo, they are.
Excellent work. Now let's move on to constructing parallel lines. Now parallel lines are 2 lines in the same plane that no matter how far they extend, do not intersect with each other. So we are going to use the same diagram that we just made using the second method. Now, from point T, we are going to construct another perpendicular line using the first method. Now, who can remember what that was?
Oh, Teacher Pendo.
Yes, Marara.
Now, we use a compass with a pointer on T to make 2 marks. Now, from these 2 marks, we make 2 arcs, which should intersect.
Very good. Now let's do that now. So from your point T, so it should look like this. So if we call the point where they intersect point Y and then connect our point T and point Y, we have a line. Now what do you notice about line TY and line AB? TY and line AB.
Teacher Pendo, they are parallel.
That's right. Now, well done, everyone. Now, I want you all to practice constructing lines, bisectors, perpendicular lines, and parallel lines, as it takes some getting used to.
Oh, Teacher Pendo?
Yes, Marara.
If I draw a line that's perpendicular to TY, will it then be parallel to line TS?
Yes, it will. You're really getting the hang of this, Mara. Perhaps maybe you could become a teacher?
Oh, well, I'm not sure about that. I want to see this week's career zone before I decide what I want to do when I'm older.
Okay, well, let's take a look. It's time for Career Zone.
Can you tell us a little about yourself?
My name is Anthony Ndirangu. I'm a senior research executive here at Consumer Insight.
How did you find yourself in this line of work?
I would say pure coincidence. I was always in the line of sales and marketing. Then somebody, one of my people who used to school with, referred me to Consumer Insight and told me that they have vacancies as far as marketing is concerned. And since that has been a passion of mine ever since I left school, I decided to give it a try.
Did you need any qualifications, training, or experience for your job?
I started out by doing a diploma in information technology. I also did an advanced diploma in information technology. I was doing this from Inerero University. Then after that, I joined Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. I did a course with the name Bachelor of Commerce and Business Administration, shortened as BComba. After that, I still went on to do my professional course with the Chartered Institute of Marketers, commonly referred to as CIM. I did a professional diploma in marketing. So in our line of work, certainly marketing is a major consideration as far as research is concerned.
Please tell us what you do in a typical day.
So I usually wake up at 5:30 to be in the office at 8 a.m. in the morning. At 8 a.m. we usually have a meeting in the office with the rest of the team just to discuss the day's activities. A typical day would involve talking to clients, the various clients. We do reports, make reports for the various projects that we have. We manage those projects, so we do project management. And after that, once the project is ready and the report is ready, we do presentations to clients.
What is the best aspect of your job?
Well, the thing I love most about this job is the knowledge and experience that you get. We usually do projects for various companies. Today we'll do a project for an FMCG company, for example, a toothpaste company. Tomorrow we'll do another project for a carbonated soft drinks company. The next day we'll do it for a detergent company. So this line of work actually exposes me to a lot of experiences about various markets.
What are the main challenges of your job?
Most of the time, dealing with clients, they usually work on very strict deadlines. And some research projects are usually huge, and from the client side, they would want them turned around very fast. So what happens is that we have to put in more hours, okay, in order to deliver a job on time. So in some cases, we usually find ourselves working late into the night so as to deliver a project on time. So I would say that is one aspect that's usually a challenge, but if you're dedicated into the job, it can be a challenge, but it can also be interesting. It is not a challenge if you're doing something that you enjoy.
In your opinion, what skills or characteristics does one need in this line of work?
In order for you to make it in research, one of the things that you have to be, one is curious. You have to be very curious and inquisitive, because research involves finding out. So you have to be curious, you want to know, want to explain why things are happening the way they are, because that's the core of our business. So if you see something happening in the market, you have to try and find out, what is the company that is making this? Why did they come in like this? What else is going to influence their entry into the market and things like that. So if you are a naturally curious person, then you naturally would fit into research. The other thing that you have to be, as far as research is concerned, is dedicated. You have to be a very dedicated person.
Looking into the future, do you have an overall career goal?
I don't plan on leaving research because it's something, like I mentioned, I really enjoy doing. It's something I would do in my own free time. So I would want to grow in research and be the best that can ever be.
What advice would you give anyone interested in your line of work?
To get into this line of work, you need to invest in education. Education is vital. Today, you cannot go anywhere without a degree, even the most basic degree. It's a requirement for any level of job, whether top, middle, or even at the bottom. So if you're interested in research, I would advise you to invest in a degree in marketing, social sciences, anthropology, and also you also need to work on people's skills. You have to be a person who can relate well with people.
That was an interesting career profile.
Yes, it was. And we hope you're finding it useful when thinking about what you're going to do when you get older.
Oh yes, and I love KnowZone. Although there are so many things that I want to do when I'm older.
Well, I'm sure that you'll be able to make a decent decision eventually, Mara.
Well, thank you very much, Charlie.
Mara, maybe it's gonna be a job that involves spelling.
Spelling. I need to go and call Maspidi again about something else. Well, I think this would be the great time to go and call him. Oh, so everyone, please enjoy yourself on the balcony.
Now, as Mara rushes off to call Maspidi, it's time for us to step out of the shadows and into the light for the biggest, baddest, fastest spelling competition this side of the Sahara.
That's right, it's time for Spell It.
Animal, tractor, building, narrow, respect, deep, vegetable, work.
Welcome to Spell It. Mureithi, Adhiambo, and Kuria, you are about to step out of the shadows and into the spotlight to compete for the title of today's KnowZone Spelling Champion. Now, the winner will walk away with their very own KnowZone dictionary.
Each contestant has just 30 seconds to spell correctly as many words as possible. If you would like to hear the word again, simply say repeat and the word will be repeated for you. Now, each word is worth 1 point and each word has to do with today's topic, which is all about the environment. If you want to hear the word again, you say repeat and it will be repeated for you. Are the rules clear?
Okay, Kuria, you are up first. Please take your place on the spelling zone.
Kuria, your 30 seconds start now.
Energy.
ENERGY.
Soil.
SOIL.
Hardwood.
HARDWOOD.
Crucial.
CRUCIAL.
Clearing.
CLEARING.
Chemicals.
CHEMICAL.
Erosion.
Time is up.
Good job.
Good job.
Kuria. Adhiambo, you are up next. Please take your place on the spelling zone.
Adhiambo, your 30 seconds start now.
Trees.
TREES.
Carbon.
CARBON.
Softwood.
SOFTWOOD.
Develop.
DEVELOP.
Climate.
CLIMATE.
Conditions.
CONDITION.
Planting.
PLANTING.
Time is up.
Good job. Adhiambo, Mureithi, you are the last one. Please take your place on the spelling zone.
Mureithi, your 30 seconds start now.
Solar.
SOLAR.
Impact.
IMPACT.
Protect.
PROTECT.
Preserve.
PRESERVE.
Erosion.
EROSION.
Vegetation.
VEGETATION.
Gum.
Repeat.
Gum.
GUM.
Time is up. Well done, Mureithi. Well done. Wow, that was a very tight and very intense round of Spell It. I can now reveal those scores. Kuria, Adhiambo, Mureithi, you all did very well. In third place, with 5 points, we have Kuria. Let's give him a round of applause. Well done, Kuria. That leaves us with Mureithi and Adhiambo. And the winner of KnowZone Spell It for this episode, with a total of 7 points. So the difference was actually only 1 point between each of them. With 7 points, the winner is Mureithi. Let's give him a round of applause. Give us a hug, Mureithi. Give us a hug. Woo! Hey. Congratulations. You are today's KnowZone Spelling Champion. Here's your dictionary. Show everyone at home a big round of applause. Step back, Mureithi. Step back.
Oh, congratulations, Muraithi. Now to our runners-up at Diambo and Korea, do not worry. For spelling as many words correctly, we have prizes for you too, courtesy of our friends at Longhorn Publishers.
That's right. Now that has to be the most exciting edition of Spell It we've ever had. I don't know how the contestants handle that kind of pressure.
Yeah, but clearly they did so well. Yeah?
I know, but I have an idea. They probably handle the pressure as well as our friends who are on a bus. You know who I'm talking about. Raha, Boomba, Specs and Zawadi.
That's right. Let's join our friends for another adventure on Bus Stories.
I know you've had a very disappointing afternoon, but wait here while I go and fetch the others, okay?
What will you tell the rest of the school that won't be going for the national drama festivals?
The adjudicators are not fair.
Next time, we should do what the winning school did.
No way. They were not talented. They just put a lot of props on stage, did a lot of singing and dancing instead of acting.
People, we lost fair and square. We should be ourselves and work harder on the play next time.
Shut up, Boomba. The best way to win is to copy the best.
The best way to win is to be yourself and accept your mistakes. Let me tell you a story about a group of young people who tried to copy us and become like the magical four.
We were in our super magical bus, flying across the skies. We had won the provincial magical festival, and we were so happy. Dancing in the bus as we went to the nationals of the magic festival. No one could beat our flying bus, Specs was saying. Yes, our magical powers. Did you see how the others were amazed at Zawadi's lightning speed? Hey, Raha screamed, patting Zawadi. We were all having fun, flying across to the National Magical Festival. We were so sure no one could defeat us there. Look, shouted Zawadi, pointing to a streak of smoke that showed outside the side window. Oh no! Right ahead of us was a bus, very similar to ours, flying in the sky. It slowed down and came right next to ours. On looking inside, guess what we saw? It was like looking in a mirror. Inside the other bus was Boomba, Zawadi, Raha and Specs. We had twins, but they weren't twins. They were fakes, set on causing us a lot of trouble.
Boomba, there were others that looked identical.
Who are those who had the same magical powers?
Well, there's only one way to find out.
How?
So Chuma drove the bus to the venue of the National Magic Festival. There were other imitators, but no one could beat the original Magical Four.
Oh, what a contest it turned out to be. First off was Zawadi. She scared the judges with her fast speed until the fake Zawadi ran faster than her. I tried my disappearing act. Surely no other person could do it. No one had ever done it. The fake Boomba became the first person I had ever met who could disappear. Raha broke a glass with her scream. The fake Raha made a brick explode. When the judges stood to announce the winners, they asked us to perform a final magical act the next day. Until we know who the real magical four are, we are going to disqualify the both teams.
That can't be possible. There can only be one and only magical four.
Well, that's what we think.
Specs called a meeting to see what we could do. Raha suggested we go and beat the others up. Specs refused. Zawadi said we should go and report them to the police. But I said no one could differentiate between us and the fake ones. Suddenly, Specs jumped up. I have an idea, he said. Let's follow the sonic waves from the magical four and find out where they stay. We might know why they are doing what they are doing. So off in the night we went and landed near the old warehouse. Guess who we saw? Sandara with some young children whom he passed through a machine, and they will turn into us.
They should have dismantled the machine.
No, they should have found out why first. Boomba, why was Sandara making them pass through the machine?
He was trying to make them look like the original Magical Four.
So, what happened next?
So, we all agreed that the following day we will do our own original routine, not to copy the others. When the next day came, we met again at the competition, and this time the other team did their own magic trick, but we did our own routine and the judges liked ours better. They said that we were the original ones. Sandara tried to grab at the judges, but we jumped into our magical bus and took off. Sandara jumped into his copycat magical bus and he flew after us. After a few seconds, the bus stopped being magical and floated down to the ground. He came out. What could be the problem? He realized that even the children had now turned into their normal forms, wearing uniforms similar to ours, but they did not look like the Magical Four. Unknown to him, the batteries of his remote converter that he used to change people into us had gone dead. That's the problem with cheating. In frustration, he disappeared in shame.
I'm glad to see you're all looking more cheerful. We should be on our way home soon.
Thanks, Teacher Mary.
So, what was the moral of your story?
There is no moral. Just that if we work hard on what we best know rather than copying everything from others, we will excel.
Yes, instead of stealing ideas like the others have done, let us go back, see where we went wrong, improve on it, and we can be the best that there is.
Wow, what a great story!
Did you enjoy it?
Yes! Well, I'm just glad that the Magical Four have superpowers.
Why?
Well, if they didn't have any magical powers, Sandara would have captured them ages ago, and there would not be any more bus stories.
Well, actually, you do have a point. Now, unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. But thank you so much for helping us with the show. You have all been brilliant.
Yes, you have. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to join us next Saturday for more fun and learning.
Well, until then, let's all say goodbye.
Goodbye.